Hi, y'all. Beautiful beings. Blessedly. Juicy here. First, I wanted to say I would like it if you could subscribe if it's your first time. Like it, comment. Any questions, I'm going to put my website as the way to contact me in the description box below. And yeah, for everything that's on there that I can do for you. But today, I wanted to, due to a lot of my clients asking questions that I have to end up doing, which I don't mind, but it's like just for acute reasons, homeopathy. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about homeopathy. As you can see, I got all my books out. Got all my homeopathy books out, so in case I wanted to put this big guy. Well, I went to school for it for a while, but the real work began when I got out of school because I work, there's stages of homeopathy that I'm going to go ahead and just read something for you here off my website. Classical homeopathy is born in the 18th century, works on an energetic level. It works from energetic to cellular. We are being moved, directed, and motivated by energy, which is the vital force imperative to operate the physical body. Homeopathic remedies are made from... Okay, I'm sorry, I just have to make sure I don't get lost. I have to put my glasses on. I keep forgetting about this glasses thing. Okay. Amounts of substances from plants, animal, and mineral kingdoms, and biological sources. There are more than 3,000 known remedies available. Each specific remedy is made from only one plant, animal, mineral, or biological source. It is a system of medicine, a modality based on treating like with like. Like treats like. Every organism possesses a defense mechanism responsible for maintaining a state of homeostasis. The core of human existence depends on the ability to balance on receptors on the energetic, physical, mental, and emotional levels. Homeopathic remedies are natural, reliable, non-addictive, and have no side effects. Remedies may be safely taken in conjunction with other conventional medicines. Okay, so then it goes on to talk about my, on my website, in the homeopathy section. It goes on to download an intake form, and it also gives a link that you can go on to that gets you a starter homeopathic remedy kit for like home, first aid, stuff like that, and a starter book. Okay, so basically first aid refers to just like an accident, injury, or trauma. It includes shock, burns, puncture wounds, fractures, sprains, allergy reactions, cuts, bites, things like that. And then acute are situations and illnesses that are self-limiting, such as colds, measles, sinus, strep throat, stage fright, things like that, like grief, like from just like a shock. Constitutional remedies, however, which is what I do mostly, I usually just tell people this is what I'm trying to do. Right now, what I'm going to be addressing for how to take them is for the first aid or acute. But let me go ahead and just mention the fact that there is constitutionals, which addresses the whole person picture, including mental, emotional, everything, family history, and treating addictions and all of that. Now, the suppression is more like the cancer when I treat people that there's a deterioration, cancer, dementia, and such things. And then there's like a whole thing over here with pets. I do pets. They respond quickly. Okay, let me get out of here. Back to you. Yay. Okay, so I just wanted to just kind of go in with that first. And then just say that, right, but yeah, pets, amazing. I've been treating a lot of pets lately. So they and children. Children and pets really react quickly to these remedies. But the layers of shit that we have as we get a little bit up there or whatever's going on, takes a little longer. But today, this is like just one of the things I'll show you, like a little kit that you can get that you will see on my link. But it kind of folds in. So you can get different ones. You can get like a kit that's just like for first aid mostly, which you can use first aid stuff for also constitution stuff. So for example, let's just say, let me see here, what do I want to do? Okay. So, well, let's just start with using apis. Okay, so this one's apis. Okay, they all have different potencies, and that's another thing. The potencies I usually tell people to do, even with mostly with acute things or first aid things, is a 30C, which is what usually they come in. They come, most of your little kit will come in a 30C. So with a 30C, in a first aid or acute situation, like, okay, so let's take apis. Apis is the honeybee remedy. And it is basically for anything like that stings, something that stings you, like a bee, because it's a honeybee remedy, or it could be a doctor fly or a wasp sting, anything that stings, a stingy thing. So, and from that you're itching or you get stung. Okay, but there's other things, but let me just say, most of the time that I've ever used apis, it's mostly been an acute or first aid situation. Mostly first aid. So what I would do then is I tell the person, the client, this is my bag. So I have a whole shitload of remedies inside of here, as well as a couple of these little things here. Anyway, you shake it up, because it's energetic medicine. So you shake it up. I like to dance around with it, shake it on up, and then after you shake it, you can then take the cap. And some of them, like I have one here that you get. This is if you don't have your own kit, most of you will see it like this in a little blue thing, and then you do the same thing. You shake it up. The only difference with the blue ones or the other ones, some of them, the cap turns. If you turn the cap 3 times, you'll see 3 pellets will come out. And I'm not going to take them out because I don't want to, because I don't want to have them there. Out. But if we'll see, and even some of the purple, but that's a 200, I believe. You can get at the health food store. And you can get these remedies at any health food store or vitamin. I believe the vitamin place still has them. That's my, sorry about that. I forgot. Okay. So anyway, if you're dealing with one of these, you just basically, after shaking them up, you just take the cap off and then pour in, 3 pellets. And I say 3 because that's what I was taught, but I don't really know if it matters if there's like 4 or if there's 2. It's just 3 is what I've always kind of went by. And I would say if you were stung by a bee or some kind of a, well, I'll have to tell you, I lived in Belize, and I've never really been, I've never been allergic to bees, and they don't really mess with me. But when I moved to Belize, I had so many, and now when I'm here, I'm like, oh no, I got my apis on hand, because basically I've just never gotten allergic reaction to anything until I was bit by a doctor fly, and those little guys are so small that you can't even hardly see them. But they're crazy, and they affect a lot of people there with, like, you can tell because they swell up. But mine affected me even worse than that. It's like one of them comes, and I know I'm going to get, I get sick for like 2 hours. It debilitates me. Anyways, so that's something I had to learn how to get through there. And every time I would go out, somehow I'd forget my apis. Don't worry, I don't anymore. But anyway, I would say if something like that happened, I would tell somebody to take 3 of these, shake them up, 3 of them 15 minutes apart for an hour. Now, also, you want to be kind of careful, if possible, if you can help it, to not eat anything or drink anything in between these times, or at least 5 to 10 minutes before you take it and after, if possible. So I know that sounds a little needy. So if it isn't possible, I've had many things work still on some of these remedies. It's just one of the things that is good to keep in your mind, is maybe try not to put anything in your mouth before 5 minutes or 10 minutes before and after you take it. But yes, I would say every 15 minutes for something first aid like. Okay, then we'll go, let's see, let me look at another one here. Let's see, I'm going to get it an acute one that I use a lot. Arsenicum. Let's just say arsenicum, because there's so many remedies. I could go through this shit forever. We'd be on here forever. I just wanted to make a quick video so that you kind of know what I'm talking about. So, well, actually, no. Let's go to, let's stay on the first aid and acute. It can bleed over to acute. Is that sometimes when people hurt their backs, or they have like a nerve thing, you don't know where the injury is actually going to, and it's more of an acute thing, I will say, and arnica can be used in a first aid. Spraining your ankle hiking, you want to have arnica and take it. It takes the inflammation, like your healing process is cut in half, I could say for sure, at least. But sometimes there'll be like bone and nerves wrapped up with the muscle kind of thing. So I will tell people to take arnica, the 3, what's my friend Nancy and I call it, the 3 amigos, I guess. Arnica, ruta, and hypericum. Because hypericum works with the nerves, and arnica, the muscles and the tissue, for swelling, for like right after a car, you know, just all of the stuff that, you know, anything that's gonna jar your body, or post-surgery, pre-surgery, arnica, amazing. Now that's for the muscles. Hypericum is the nervous system. It's from St. John's wort. It's like, and what happens is they dilute it down to its lowest vibration, so it cures what it causes. That's why these things work. 18th century. Yeah, back to Hahnemann and shit, you know. So anyway, then so ruta is for the bones. So what I would do if I tell a client, which is why I'm making this so that you can refer to it, I would say take arnica, right? You know, let's just say it doesn't matter what time of day. I'm just giving an example. If I take arnica the first thing in the morning, and then in the afternoon, take some hypericum, and then before bed, take some ruta, if I was to be just subscribing that for prescribing, something like that, I would just say, and then when you wake up in the morning, take arnica again. And it really doesn't matter which suit. For some reason, I just always start with the arnica, because I feel like the muscles and the tissue first to the cellular level, then we go to the nervous system, then to the bones. So however it happens, but just make sure you're taking them. And sometimes if it's just like a shooting something that from someone's shoulder, I'll just say arnica and hypericum. So those 2, just alternate them all day for 3 days, you know, and then, you know, usually you can notice quite a difference in those times. Now, acutely, I can say arsenicum is another one, and that one can be used as constitutional remedies, like a constitutional. I've had many arsenicum cases where people have that as a constitution. And so at that point, I would have someone, if like, so for the acute though, let's see, food poisoning is one of the biggest things. You know, I've had clients call me because if once you're my client, I will answer acute questions for you. You just give me a call and I can tell you what to do. what to go get and how to do it. The constitutional and the can't, that's when it gets, you need me like all the time. But arsenicum is like food poisoning. Like somebody, like I had, like I'll tell you, a couple, many times actually, even for myself. Somebody wakes up usually around the time of midnight, sometime after 11 at night, and then maybe 2 to 2:30 or something in the morning. Usually those times. If somebody wakes up and they're getting really sick, it's always arsenicum is what I always prescribe for to have them take it, because it remedies will either make things really worse so it comes out, or it'll make it better. But it is like magic either way. So it just basically helps to get all of that out and help the system heal from the cellular level. So basically, I hope this helped. And there's so many remedies. I mean, we could go on and on with that. But I do suggest that you, if you are interested in having a kit for yourself, which is a great idea, you can never have, I mean, just having them, they last forever, and you just to have it there and be able to treat your family without antibiotics and a bunch of crap is a great thing to have and to do for your family and for yourself, for your pets. It's imperative, really. I feel. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have them. But yeah, I just treated a few cats. Anyway, I have a lot. If you ever need any help with that, for a pet reading, I can do those as well. You can get a hold of me on my website, and for readings, anything like that. Just know that I wanted to make sure that we understood. You just shake it up every time, and then you take 3 pellets and try not to have anything in your mouth. Put them on your tongue, and just let them be there and melt into your healing. Because it does work, man. I've seen some crazy situations. You have no idea. I've treated a constitutional baby when she was like 5 months old, like maybe 4. And it was apparent. I worked with the mother, but once we dosed her, she just completely shifted. Anyway, it was amazing. But also, I think I've told you this before, but I'm going to say it again. My daughter, when before we moved to Belize, before we moved here, she had found a cat, a little kitten, in a nearby town. When I was teaching a yoga retreat, and she was with me. I think she was probably 8 maybe, yeah, probably 8 years old. Anyway, she found this little cat that was like starving in Dangriga. It was kind of a thing that was present it's definitely different now. But at that time, there was just so many strays, and so she wanted to bring it home, back to the place where I was teaching the retreat at Jeannie's, and so I let her bring it back, and she just nursed this cat back to health. By the time my retreat was over, I think it was like 10 more days, I think she had this cat, and she fell in love with it. So anyway, the bottom line is she had to leave it in Belize because we weren't living there yet, so we were coming back to the States. And she starts she's a mess, like hysterical. I mean, so hysterical. So when we pulled away, so I gave her I want to say I gave her 10 minutes. It could have been sooner, because I was just like, I'm trying to let her feel herself, see if she calms down. I pull over and I get in my kit, my trusty little kits, and I grab the Ignatia, which is I call it the grief remedy. It's for excessive grief, sadness, things like that. Funerals is a good place to bring Ignatia. But for her, I'm like, I gotta dose her. So I dosed her, and she's like, yeah. And then she went from that, like almost immediately to, she still was feeling herself, but she calmed down enough to be able to process it and let it just calmed her nervous system completely down in that level. Anyway, that's just a couple of examples. I could go on all day. Like I said, I just wanted to give that to you guys so that you, whenever I'm saying what to do, maybe this hopefully will make it clearer. And again, I'm going to leave um, the website in the description box. Everybody should get one. They're good to have. You can get a first aid one. You can get one with all kinds of different things. If you need any help deciding, you can always give me a shout out. And anyways, yeah. And until next time, please like and subscribe so we can keep spreading this out to people for healing and avoiding a lot of other things that really don't need to happen. I mean, I want to tell another story. Okay, I'm gonna tell it. I don't know. When I was in Belize, when I first was in Belize, I was with Zorro, my cat, and my other two. They were family, and he always got into snakes, and so I had a snake remedy, which also you could use ledum, but there's actually a snake remedy for snake bites. So I had that, and of course I took that because I knew there were snakes, and I healed him several times. But when I brought them back to the States, when I came back to the States for my daughter's school for a while, he was the active one, and he was crawling, just all over the place on the fence, and just, and then all of a sudden he couldn't walk in his back legs, so we sent him twice to the vet. One time I had to work anyway. My daughter took him, and we took him together, and they both, basically it cost us $200 and something for them to tell us that we needed to kill him, put him down. So I'm in my pool, and he comes home, and he's sprawled out because he has hair, I couldn't see it before. I didn't see it, but I was in the pool, so I was at ground level where he was sprawled out, and I seen this bite, and I went up and I realized, oh my God, that's a black widow, because we don't have them here. We don't have them in Belize. So I'm like, wow, that's a spider bite, and I realized that the garage had them, and then I looked it up on the internet, and it said black widow bites cats, back legs will be paralyzed. And I'm thinking, how in the hell do you go to vet school for this long? Anyway, right away when I realized what happened, I just gave him some ledum and dosed him, and he was, within a couple of days, he was back climbing the fence, like he always was. So that's what I'm saying. If there's something that you can prevent yourself from having to spend a lot of money, this is a great way to do it, and it works, and you can always call or ask me or get a consultation, or for anything, cancer or anything that's going on, we'll deal with that, which takes longer. The first aid and the acute, though, it's good to have around just for these kind of situations. Anyway, I couldn't help it. I had to go on with that. And I think I've done videos on this before, because I have a thing on pet homeopathy, but I had to say it again because it was unbelievable to me. Anyway, blessings, y'all, and I'll be back with another video very, very soon, probably today even. All right, I'll see you soon.